but initially, when I first found myself in this position, and it happened to other people, I didn't set myself up. There was so much fear around that, of being up there and talking to people, that starting the meetings off, I couldn't sort of string anything out. I used to get encouragement from others, and then little by little, I always felt like I was, on the pirate ships when they sent people out on the plank, and you walk out the plank till you fall over into the sea and drown. That's exactly it. That's the image that used to come to. Oh my God, I'm getting close to the edge here. I'm going to go over. Absolute fear. It may not have shown it, and that took little by little. That's how you deal with fear, is that you rise to whatever the situation may be, and however difficult it may be, physical, is that whole thing begins to burn itself out, like the people learning to sing, how they blossomed, how they just came through in the end, and they just, they were so happy, and it made such an impact on their life. Never mind the singing, this is it. This is challenging your bubble, getting out of your bubble, your fear, coming out and taking the opportunity just to face up to something that you've created. Make no mistake, nobody else has created it for you. It's a self-image. It's a learning to protect yourself, looking after, protecting yourself from the big bad world. But by doing that, you become this frightened little thing that actually life, you don't experience anything. The experiences of life, anything like you could do, they all pass you by. Oh no, I can't do this. I can't. Oh no, I can't do this. You can actually. You can actually do anything. Actually, there's very little that you can't do, and you are the only one that's stopping you from doing it. And that's what this training is teaching us to do. Is to let go of this self-view, this self-image, this self-consciousness thing that we create. And it's a big lesson to learn, and it's a massive challenge, because it's fear. You're frightened. You don't want to do it. You want to run away. You want to go and find the easy way, the easy path, which is to do nothing usually. Go and shut yourself away in the room somewhere, rather than. That's the path of liberation. I mean, it happened on a worldly way, but it happens on the spiritual way. It's exactly the same thing. It's the same principle. That for us, that we learn to open up to our limitations. We see the more that we sit, the more still we are, the more we can see how we are, how we diminish ourselves, how we lock ourselves up and hide ourselves away, stay in our comfort zone. And that's what, there's so many people who practice the Dharma end up starting off with the best intentions, but then when things begin to get a bit close, people retire to the comfort zone, stay in the comfort zone, and never actually put themselves in a position of being challenged in their so-called training, and they just cruise along, drinking tea and eating biscuits, and not actually putting themselves in a position where they are challenged, where the bubble that they made for themselves step out of the bubble. But unless you step out of the bubble, nothing changes, and this won't work. You just stay in that little zone that you've created for yourself. And that's all the self-view, looking after yourself, and staying away from the fear, not facing up to the fear that will come to you very quickly once you step outside of your comfort zone. And it's learning to have a relationship with that fear, learning to see what it's about, what it's made of, what feeds it, what allows it to be there in the first place. Don't blame your mother and your father and your wife and your husband and all of that. Look at yourself and see, I'm creating this. I'm creating this straitjacket that I put myself into, that I find myself in. I'm the one who's creating that. And it's all down to the self-view and the way to challenge it and the way to challenge all of your fears. And then when you go through them, you're free. You're not carrying. There's something that you've carried all of your life you don't carry anymore. You're free. You're light. You're light and free. And that's what this training is asking us to. That's the challenge of the training that we embark upon.